This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to some Edmonton Oilers discussion on the channel. If you understand why I'm showing you a T-mug, you're pretty good at watching the early morning specials here on Dolany TV. That said, ladies and gentlemen, she has been a 5 long years. Oh, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you clearly have not read enough internet this morning. I mean, it's inescapable. Honestly, if you're an Oilers fan, you can't not see it this morning in your Twitter timeline, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snap. I don't even know what other platforms are out there right now, but TikTok, I guess, is a thing. But it's been 5 long years, all right, since we won the draft lottery with an 11.5 chance to win it. We won it and got the right to draft Connor McDavid. Now, this was, in all of Oilers history here, a where were you when moment. All right, yeah, okay, you can say that about the Hall, the Nuge, the Yak. Well, you can say that all. Yeah, sure. But this was the one. All right, guys, this was the one, all the way dating back to probably 2012, I think, is when Connor McDavid. But hold on a second here. Connor McDavid, when did he bust into the OHL? I know he got exceptional status, so that always screws me up. But let me just go Hockey DB here for a second and get the, yeah, 2012. So date back all the way back to the 2012 hockey season, 2012-2013, when Connor McDavid became a thing, right? That's 100%. That's when he started really performing in front of the cameras. And guys, that was the one that we knew as Oilers fans. We had a chance. We needed to have that happen. Now, to say that in 2012, not exactly accurate, because we were all hoping that Nuge, Hall, and Yakupov would just lead us to some playoff success. So, quite honestly, we weren't concerned about Connor McDavid. But in 2012, we all started to look forward to the 2015 draft. That's what I'm talking about, because the 2015 draft, from there to then, was the most hyped up draft I think we've had in a long, long, long while. Like, yeah, you know what, the fanfare about Austin Matthews, Patrick Laine, whatever. But 2015, ladies and gentlemen, a hyped up draft, and as I said, a where were you when moment as an Oilers fan. I can remember my where was I when moment kind of deal. Came home to the condo up in North Edmonton in Eau Claire there. My ex-girlfriend at the time came up, sit and watch the draft lottery with me. And we were sitting there watching it, and they were pulling the cards, and then all of a sudden, that golden Oilers logo came up. And seriously, I probably, like, it's nothing to joke about. I know I'm joking about a stroke or some kind of something, but seriously, the entire right side, I know it's normally the left side, but the entire right side of my face went completely numb. Like, I was just almost paralyzed. I was so excited. It was something. I mean, yeah, sure, like, okay, but let me just read this Facebook post for you from 2015, April 18th. Yeah, 5 years ago today. Holy F, a whole bunch of symbols, ing, S, couple of symbols, T, my face is numb, followed by 20 exclamation marks, and then this statement here, playing on the old We Are Oil Country one, we are McDavid country. And you know what? That was a pretty magical day, right? Because that kicked off a whole bunch of human highlight reels in Connor McDavid, and the stuff we've gotten to watch since. I've gotten to watch him live more times than I can count at this point, and it is absolutely unreal how lucky as Oilers fans we are to be able to get to watch Connor McDavid live on TV every night, whenever. It is just crazy. To talk about McDavid as being ours is absolutely nuts, especially considering, right, go back to 2012. We weren't anywhere close on the radar to getting Connor McDavid when it came up. I know there was always the crazies on Facebook and Twitter that talked, oh man, the Oilers just need to keep tanking so they can get McDavid. But that wasn't the serious line of questioning, right? That wasn't seriously where we were going. No, it was it was all about winning at that point, and we couldn't win. And then all of a sudden, 2015 rolls around. We had a crap, miserable year in 14-15, and we won Connor McDavid in the draft lottery 5 years ago today. And let me tell you, I've lived more in the past 5 years than I did in the, well, what would that have been? 18 and a half, 18 and three-quarter years prior. That's absolutely insane to me to think about what's gone on in the past 5 years. The Oilers have only made the playoffs once. We're on pace to make the playoffs this year, and somehow we're in the middle of a global pandemic in which, well, quite honestly, life as we know it doesn't exist anymore because life as we know it is adjusted to a new normal. And that just the absolute sheer insanity of everything in my life, everything in the world that's gone on in the past 5 years is absolutely hard to comprehend at this point. But my goodness, tell me how much winning Connor McDavid has helped with dealing with everything that's gone on. You know what? 5 years, imagine the pain as an Oilers fan without Connor McDavid, right? Especially because we missed the playoffs that year, because we had such a good chance at him. Yeah, sure, we pulled off the upset, but oh, goodness, come on, come on, come on. Oh, man. How lucky we are. It is absolutely insane. And you know what? Quite honestly, it's hard to believe still to this day. It really is. Very hard to believe to this day still that we were able to do it. But Connor McDavid and Edmonton Oilers, and as much as I say it's hard to believe when you reflect back on that day, but it's hard not to believe Connor McDavid's an Oiler. Now he's the captain. His jersey hangs up on my wall, the only player jersey I have ever had in my entire life is the Connor McDavid, which hangs up to the immediate left of my Dolany Team Canada jersey from Christmas a few years ago. Absolutely insane. Absolutely 100% insane looking back on that day. But to think about it over the past 5 years, not that crazy. And I can remember my boss, the owner of a furniture store franchise I worked at, back in 2015 during the summer when the draft was taking place. I hung on the phone with Paul probably way longer than I should have, considering I was supposed to be working. But I mean, hey, I was working. I was talking with the boss about Connor McDavid getting drafted down there in Florida with the whole hoopla to the Edmonton Oilers, and that, bingo, bingo, absolutely beautiful. I think it was Florida. Was it Florida? I believe it was Florida. I hope it was Florida. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was 5 years ago. But, right, like just absolutely crazy. And the stuff that you can remember all along the journey of this is absolutely nuts. But I don't know. To comprehend it still seems impossible, right? I can still remember, I can feel, literally, right now talking about it, I can feel my face go numb all over again. Just the reaction, just sitting there, just jumping out of my friggin' couch and losing my mind. And I don't know, I'm a crazy man, but that was the craziest time as an Oilers hockey fan up until that point, right? Like, end of the '06 season, after the playoffs were said and done in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, we had not had a more exciting moment until that moment when that Golden Oilers ticket came up and said, hey, you guys have the right to draft Connor McDavid. Now, the fun part is I read in an Edmonton Journal a few minutes ago an article from the next day after Connor McDavid was gifted to the Oilers via the draft lottery, and crazy. Crazy to think that there was any doubt that the Oilers were going for Connor McDavid 100%, right? Like, the Oilers didn't tip their hand. Like, it was guaranteed it was Connor McDavid, but nobody wanted to say it was Connor McDavid, and that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy to me. But I guess you could see the logistical reasons why you wouldn't. But there's no doubt. I'm sorry, Jack Eichel is a strong number two, but he ain't anywhere near a 1B. I'm sorry. That's straight up. Jack Eichel's good. But, you know what? Connor McDavid. 100 times better, guys. I'm Tyson. This is Stolany TV. I've blabbed on enough in disbelief that it's been 5 years. That's quite honestly the craziest part. It's been 5 years. Guys, I'm up on out of here.